I'm Nikki. I'm the other half of two tribes, Primal Living. Obviously the Viking side, you got to meet the Apache yesterday. And I'm here to share with you our new home, where we'll be moving, and kind of answer some questions on why off-grid. Why off-grid for me, why off-grid for us as a couple, and get to share some of the reasons that we made this decision to go off-grid for our future, our life. You may be asking yourself or contemplating within yourself, ooh, I want to move, I want to do what they're doing. I just don't have the resources, or I want to live a minimal life. I want to shed a lot of stuff that I have. I want to sell off stuff. I want to move into a smaller home. There are so many opportunities to do these things that actually help us become more authentic and really get into the lifestyle that we're looking for, that allows us to be happy. A lot of us aren't happy. We have the great jobs, we have this, we have that, but we're not happy. So if you want to look at off-grid, or why off-grid, you have to look at you are heading out into a space that is limited. It's not completely void of, but limited on certain things like electricity, running water, food access. You may be up in the mountains. So that's kind of what an off-grid lifestyle is. It's not that you don't have Wi-Fi access. You can still have cell phones, you can still have computers, you can still have YouTube, you can have electricity and not have running water. I mean, there's so many varieties of what off-grid means. So off-grid for us, and why off-grid and why New Mexico, was about remote. It was about getting away from. It was about getting away from the noise and the pollution behind us. It was about getting or escaping the day-to-day stress that, some people call it the rat race. I'm not a rat. I'm not running through the maze, but I'm exposed to everybody right around me who is, and that really jacks with my vibe as a human, being able to thrive in this environment. So off-grid allows me freedom, and freedom is really why off-grid for me and why off-grid for us. Now, I've had it all. I've had the career, I've had the great paying career, I've had the great family life with the brand new custom built home and the new appliances and the new cars, the status that goes with it. I've had those things, and they didn't bring me happiness. The credentialing after my name didn't bring me happiness. The fancy clothes, the pencil skirts, the Botox didn't bring me happiness. What brought me happiness was nature. And it took me getting laid off and losing a lot of what I thought was quote unquote success in a small time frame to really realize just how important healing is and nature is. Nature allows us to heal. And when we heal, we're better people. Broken, some people don't like the word broken, they call themselves unbroken. An unhealed person has issues, and those issues can manifest in many ways. So healing for me, in losing a lot in a small time frame, really allowed for me the opportunity to get into nature. And I found that when I sat under the tree, or I found that when I sat on the beach, or I sat under the moon by myself, that I was able to heal. And it freed me. It was liberating. Nature was liberating. And I would come back from nature energized and ready to go and full of vitality. And then I get back in the cage. And the cage of life, the rat race around me, would just bring me down. Other people's addictions, other people's problems. And I found that, okay, well, these are actually triggers of my own. And so the more I got in nature, the more I healed those triggers. And then I realized that's where I want to be. That that is what brings me happiness, and that's what brings me joy. Luckily, my spouse has the exact same feelings about nature. He's been wanting to get out of here for years, and had it not been for him, I wouldn't be here in the space I am now. So it's part of the journey, and without us finding each other and coming together and understanding that we both were very much in alignment with what we wanted, then we're able to get out and heal together and get into nature. And so that's why off-grid. It's nature heals. And when I came back, the more closer I got to nature, the more I got in the trees, the more I got in the water, the more I got away from people and in those silent spaces with just him, hiking, climbing, whatever we were doing, the happier I was. And it just brought so much joy. There was peace in the relationship. There was peace in ourselves. We could sit for days in remote camping locations and not even speak a whole lot, but say a whole lot to one another. And we knew we'd go hiking, and it was just beautiful. It was just resetting. You would be physically exhausted at the end of the day because you had to work, you had to physically work. But you were so at peace, and there was just so much gratification of the self, so much power. So, I found that healing energy from nature and being out in nature and being connected to myself through nature allowed me to open up my heart. It allowed me to heal relationships. It allowed me to let go of people that that weren't serving me, that weren't serving my highest purpose, and let go of cords of energy that weren't serving my highest purpose. And all of a sudden things started flowing, and I started healing, and I started being authentic, and I started being able to speak my truth. And that's just powerful, powerful stuff. And this is all because of nature and away from. And I liked it. And when I returned back to the space of work, returned back to the space of even here, I would feel caged. All of a sudden, it would get tense. Situations would happen, and we would feel conflict. And over time, that got pretty. It became a realization. We need to be. This is killing us, not as a couple, but it's just it kills everybody. It's killing mankind, and nature heals. So we need to get out. We need to get back into nature, and that's where we put our focus. And we wanted to go off grid. So that is why off-grid. The freedom of being off-grid, the personal freedom of being off-grid, personal freedom being letting go of beliefs and attachments and agreements that you have with other people on what you should be, who you should be, how you should dress, how you should look. That's all a lack of personal freedom. That is domestication, is the word that comes to mind. You're domesticated. And personal freedom is the opposite of domestication. You begin to let go of that. And it's a beautiful thing. As you start to, it's not letting go of beliefs that other people have and being angry at them. It's just saying, I choose not to believe that. I choose not to associate with that. I don't want to look at it. It's okay. They can go do what they want to do. I'm over here being me. And as you come to that space of just not caring, you really don't, and you're authentic, you begin to gain personal freedom. Off-grid and in the wild and in nature, you are nothing but personal freedom. You have to live in the present. Heat is important, not what happened last week at somebody's personality at the job or whatever. That's not important. Having heat right now is important. Do we have enough wood? Food? What do we need to do today to survive? And this is not a survival situation that we're going into. It's just, it's just relative to the description of personal freedom. So personal freedom is letting go of those beliefs, letting go of those agreements that you have with yourself. I need to be this way. I need to look this way. I need to dress this way. I should drive this car. I should have this house. My house should be clean. Clothes should be folded and put away. I mean, those are all agreements that we make with ourselves, or that others have made for us, and that we have allowed to become our own agreements. It's personal self-talk, and it's limiting. So personal freedom is probably the most important, I guess, aspect of why off-grid. The freedom of mind, body, and spirit, the freedom to be at peace in the mind, is super, super important for mankind. Nobody's at peace anymore. Everyone's stressed out, and they're competitive, and will they win? They want to be first, they want to be the best, they want to have power, they want to have the pretty girl or the handsome guy or the this or that, and it's so ego driven, and the mind gets wrapped up in plans and goals and all these things. It's monkey mind. What if? Well, you could what if yourself to death. Out in the wild, you don't. Nature has a way of taking care of that, and you're just presented with these big, beautiful moments. Hiking to the outhouse. I'm not worried about anything other than getting to the outhouse. I mean, and as simple as that is, that's the only stress I have. So there's no ruminating over the outhouse trip last time kind of thing. I don't ruminate, and the mind is free. The body in nature, I cannot describe the healing element and the physical aspect of being in nature. It's not just fishing. It's not just sitting and meditating on a rock. It is activity. There's a lot of activity opportunities in the wild and off-grid that you don't have. It is the biggest, most badass gym on the planet. And I'm super excited for that. So the freedom to have access to that amazing gym is a great reason in and of itself to go off-grid. And then the spirit. Being able to connect with the spirit, and we all have the spirit within ourselves. Your belief system is yours, and mine is mine. But for me, being able to reconnect to my soul and that energy is just super important, and channeling that however I need to channel that. And the spirit of the trees, the spirit of my ancestors, the spirit of those who were in my life that are no longer in my life, who have passed away, that my grandfather, his spirit, all those things are available in nature, and they're available off-grid. So mind, body, and spirit. Finally, the heart, freedom of the heart. It's love. And we are connected on this very primal level. Love. It is the matrix of what brings us together as living entities. All things are connected. And that being said, the freedom of the heart is what allows us to be at peace. So when we free the heart, and nature's the best way to do that, we can reconnect to our childhood energies, and we can heal old, outdated, non-serving feelings and emotions that are inside of us, and traumas. You can heal trauma. Nature heals. It's so refreshing. And being off-grid is going to give us a high dose of that love energy straight from Mother Gaia herself. So, the freedom is really the why. Was the decision easy? Absolutely. I have a mantra: if it's not a hell yes, it is a no. And I tell people that. I tell my clients that. If it's not a hell yes, it's a no. If you have to think about it, it's a no. So I didn't have to think about it. When he presented selling the house to me, it was a hell yes. I didn't even fear where we're going to live. Whenever we talked about minimizing and building our tiny space up here, it was a hell yes. We're not going to live on an air mattress for the rest of our lives. So there's onward and upward, right? We're always moving forward. We're always progressing. We're always getting better and stronger. I'm not very keen on the idea that after a certain experience or time everything's downhill. Bullshit, it's not downhill. I'm always moving upward and ascending, and that is my journey. And so off-grid is a way to get there, and so it is a hell freaking yes. There was no other question. So all that being said, I'm excited to share our journey with each and every one of you out there. We are excited to share our journey with each and every one of you, and you'll have videos from me, you'll have videos from him. We're very different, but the same, so we may even be together. I tend to be a little more, not Pollyanna, but I tend to be a little more and energetic, I guess. But I'm going to introduce you to our new home. I'm so excited, and it's going to bring us everything we need, the joy, the peace, everything we're looking for in terms of freedom. And that's why we're doing it. Freedom. Real, authentic, relationship building, self-building freedom. And I'm excited to share this journey with you guys. So please make sure you like our video. Make sure you subscribe, and you can share, get it out there. Anybody it might help, anybody you know who might be interested in going off grid. And if you are somebody who's got experience with it, we embrace all of the comments. I'm not going to say just the happy comments. We know there's work, we know there's a lot, but if you've got advice or something like that you want to share with us, we're glad to hear it. If you've got a positive comment, we are glad to hear it. So that being said, into the wild, and thank you for watching.